There is a specific kind of frustration that does not have a clean name. It is not failure. It is not incompetence. It is not the kind of problem you can point to and fix. It is something quieter and more persistent than that. And if you have been watching this channel for any length of time, I suspect you know exactly what I am describing. You have been doing the work. Not casually, seriously. You have studied how exceptional women carry themselves. You have invested in your appearance, your wardrobe, your grooming. You have watched the content, read the books, absorbed the information. You are not the woman who is unaware. You are the woman who is fully aware and still not getting the result. You walk into a room and the reception is not what it should be. Not hostile, just slightly short of what you have earned. The eye contact that breaks a second too early. The sentence you finish that no one quite picks up. The introduction that does not quite match the way you introduced yourself in your head. Small things, but they accumulate and they are starting to cost you. And the part that no one tells you, the part I'm going to spend this entire video on, is that the problem is almost never what you think it is. It is not your wardrobe. It is not your posture. It is not even your social skills. It is something that lives underneath all of those things. And until you address it at that level, every external correction you make will continue to feel like painting over something that has not yet dried. I'm 𝐒𝐫 𝐈𝐬𝐵. Welcome back to Madre, or welcome for the first time. This channel exists for one kind of woman, the one who is done settling for ordinary. Subscribe right now if you are new. You belong here. Drop your city in the comments. I am always down there reading. Now, let's get into it. 1. The room is not responding to what you are doing. It is responding to what you believe. 3 years ago, I was at a private dinner in the West Village. 8 people. The kind of dinner where the conversation moves fast and the stakes are quiet but real. And there was a woman at that table, accomplished, beautifully dressed, clearly intelligent, who could not land in the room. Not because she said the wrong things. She didn't. Not because she was underprepared. She wasn't. But every time she spoke, something happened. A micro contraction, almost invisible. Just before the words came out, a small pulling back, a half second of checking herself before she committed to what she was about to say. The room caught it, not consciously. Rooms never do it consciously. But by the third course, she had become someone people listen to politely, rather than someone whose next sentence they were waiting for. I spoke with her afterward. We knew each other slightly through a mutual contact, and she said something that has stayed with me. She said, "I know I presented well. I don't understand what happened in there." She had prepared the external. She had not yet resolved the internal. What she was experiencing, and what I have watched in rooms for 15 years, is the gap between performed confidence and inhabited confidence. Performed confidence is what you produce when you are aware of being watched. Inhabited confidence is what you produce when you have done the internal work so thoroughly and so consistently that the room receives you the same way whether anyone important is watching or not. Research from Columbia Business School on presence and perceived authority found that individuals who reported high internal certainty about their own value were consistently rated by observers as more authoritative, more credible, and more worth listening to, independent of their actual credentials or communication style. The room is not reading your resume. It is reading the signal underneath your words. That signal is not something you perform. It is something you build, which is exactly why I built a structured curriculum around this specific work. It is called the Undeniables Blueprint. 30 days, 70 pages, 4 phases. The complete internal system that produces the woman who walks into any room and is simply received differently. Not because she is performing anything new, because she has resolved something old. It is $47, and it is linked in the description. It's the first link in the description. Or if you're watching on TV, you can scan the code on your screen right now. If this is the work you know you need to do, that is where it lives. Now, back to how this shift actually happens. 2. You cannot correct an internal problem with an external solution. This is the mistake I see most often in women who are genuinely committed to their own elevation. And it is the mistake that keeps them working hard and still feeling like something is not moving. They address every visible symptom and leave the root entirely untouched. The wardrobe gets upgraded. The grooming becomes impeccable. The posture is corrected. The vocabulary is refined. The etiquette is studied. All of it real work. All of it worthwhile. And still, the room does not quite receive her the way she expected, because the room is not evaluating your wardrobe. It is evaluating your relationship to yourself. And that relationship, the private one, The one that determines how you occupy a chair, how you take up space, how you respond when someone mildly disagrees with you. That does not change because you bought a better coat. A woman I know, a partner at a firm in Washington, D.C., told me something once that I found uncomfortably precise. She said, "I can tell within 60 seconds whether a woman has done the internal work or is still waiting for the external results to do it for her. The ones who are waiting always look slightly like they are auditioning." Auditioning. That word landed hard. Because it is exactly right. The woman who is auditioning is dressed impeccably and still slightly unsure whether she belongs. The woman who has done the internal work is dressed simply and completely certain that she does. The room always knows which one it is in the presence of. Always. 3. The shift does not happen in public. It happens in private, and it compounds. What I observed in 15 years of watching women at the highest levels of American luxury is that the women who were received with the most consistent quality of attention, not the most money, not the most status, were women who had built a private standard that did not require an audience. The way they ate alone was the way they ate at a formal dinner. The way they carried themselves in a hotel corridor was the way they carried themselves in a boardroom. The standard was not situational, it was structural. It had been built over time, in private, in the unglamorous repetition of daily habits, until it stopped being something they practiced and became something they simply were. A study from University College London on behavioral automaticity confirmed what I watched in those rooms. Consistent private behavior, repeated over an average of 66 days, becomes neurologically automatic, which means the woman who practices her standard privately, consistently, long enough, eventually stops producing it deliberately. She simply inhabits it, and the room feels the difference immediately. This is not about discipline in the motivational sense. It is about building a private curriculum and following it long enough that it becomes your default. That is the unglamorous truth underneath every woman you have ever watched in a room and thought, "I cannot explain what she has, but I want it." 4. The women who shift a room are not the loudest ones. They are the most resolved. I have sat across from women who ran companies, women who sat on multiple boards, women who were worth more than I will ever see in several lifetimes. And the quality they shared, without exception, was not charisma. It was not beauty. It was not even intelligence, though they all had it. It was resolution, a settled quality, an absence of the low-level internal negotiation that most of us are running constantly. Am I enough for this room? Am I being received the way I want to be received? Should I have said that differently? That negotiation was simply not happening in them. It had been resolved, privately, long before they walked in. And because it was resolved, everything else, the way they spoke, the way they listened, the way they took up space without apology and without announcement, landed differently, landed completely. That is what the internal shift produces, not a different version of what you are already doing, a different starting point entirely. Your assignment. This week, before you enter any room, a meeting, a dinner, a conversation that matters, take 60 seconds beforehand and ask yourself honestly, am I walking in to contribute, or am I walking in to be assessed? The answer to that question is the truest readout of where your internal work currently stands. Come back and tell me what you found. I read every single one. Until next time, you are not here by accident. You are an undeniable. Act like it. Isabel.